I see myself as like two selves. There's the potential, and then there's the current. Okay. Hello, my name is Vondre Clark, the the infamous. I'm a photographer, art person. Uh, that's about it. I like making cool things. Yeah. How does it feel to be on the other side of the camera? That's a good question. Not bad, honestly. It's like, again, I started taking like self portraits. I bought a bunch of new lights and a bunch of new gadgets and stuff, and I'm just like trying to like see how it bounces and stuff like that. So in turn, I'm just like, I don't look half bad, you know? Like, yeah, nice. So yeah, no, it's not too bad, not at all. On a scale of 1 to 10, how authentically are you living? I guess a loaded question or an answer would be like, I see myself as like two selves. There's the potential, and then there's the current. So it's like hard to like not focus on here so much because then it's just like everything becomes muddy. Time passes a lot. Like that's what I've been kind of processing recently is like morality. And it's just like this is a very short time frame. My parents are getting older and like everything is yeah, it's just like do. Like I try to move in a way where I can get closer to that. But again, it's just like not getting so bogged down in here and the obstacles and all that stuff and just trying to get better clarity, I guess, of the vision.
What do you think's separating you from your potential right now?
My go-to answer is like finances, probably. And like the deeper answer would probably just be like confidence. I've learned over the years I have like a very annoying case of learned helplessness, and I'm trying to like get over that and like trying to tackle that. But I feel like a lot of it is just in my head. A lot of just like pattern recognition, but also knowing that like there are other things that can be seen. There are other avenues. You know the whole Doctor Strange thing, which you know million options. This is it. And sometimes like you have to embrace the suck, unfortunately, and that's also what I've been fighting for the past like 5 years, or just like being more accepting of that. It's one of those things where it's like you feel like you've already paid your dues, but it's like nah, not yet. Speaking of, yeah, you don't show much of yourself online. Why is that? What made you want to be seen in this way today? Okay, so two-parter. Um, so I guess the big allure of it is like I'm a big fan of like Daft Punk and like Slipknot, like The Weeknd, stuff like that, and like their early, especially like The Weeknd, no one really knew who he was when House of Balloons dropped and all that dropped. Like, and it just creates a sort of mystique around you that's very interesting to play with and tap into. But which I'm learning that like doing things like this and like being seen more is like ruining that, but it's also it's part of the territory, I guess. It's like you eventually have to be seen in some capacity, whether it's facial recognition or just like something that is you. So for the longest, I kind of just made that to work. It's like you said, the work speaks for itself, but sometimes people need you to elaborate. So because I feel like a lot of people, their perspective of me is through a screen or through text or through word of mouth. And I figured it would be more palatable to just like, hello, you know, I exist. I'm a real person, you know.
Do you feel ready to let go of that mystery in some ways?
Yes and no. I mean, it is cool to like get that, like, wait, that's you? Like, it is very cool. But it's also cool to be recognized for what you do and get your flowers, you know? So, a little both. Ooh, talk about your photography. How would you describe your style and what is your creative process like? I like those questions. Okay. So I got into photography through just like a whim. If I didn't have a minor in photojournalism, I probably would have never even owned a camera because a DSLR was like required. You couldn't just take pictures on your phone. So, which like I learned really nothing about photography at school except for like the exposure triangle. Everything else is YouTube University. It's not really a hot take. You don't need school, like art school. You really don't. It's good for networking and connections and all that, but if you got it, you got it. A lot of my inspiration for my work, visually at least, just comes from movies and TV. I grew up on that. I always say I was raised on like the television. I was raised in a single parent household. My mom was always working, so by the time she got home, she's like, "Okay, you guys are here. All right, we'll go to bed." Like, but I just like absorb things. Like some things just in my subconscious from a commercial I saw in like 2003, and I'll just remember it. I like making work that is very cinematic and something that feels lived in. Like I'm very inspired by Nadia Lee Cohen. She is a powerhouse of creativity and just like very like a Donald Glover and like very surreal, but like could be real. You never know. Very like Twin Peaks. You know. Yeah, just like making cool things. Every idea I have that I really want to do involves like budget. I want to blow things up. I want to be have things underwater. So yeah, I'm just like kind of making the things I can make right now. One of my favorite like little tidbits is that James Cameron actually wanted to make Avatar right after Titanic, but he couldn't because technology was ass. So he was like, I'll just wait 10 years, and then yeah, now he has like five of those movies. So sometimes you just gotta wait. It's not like a shocker because it's like one of the main things that people say about my work is like I have a huge love of colors and just how they make you feel. I found a like an hour and a half video just strictly on color theory that I watch from time to time, and that thing like blows my mind. How like just like simply the color yellow can like make you hungry, makes yeah. I was also thinking about that too. If I were to go back to school for like go back for psychology or something like that, because I feel like photography is you're just studying people and just knowing what quirks they have. Like Richard Avedon was really good at that. Like he would just talk to you like this for an hour before he even like took a picture of you. So it's a very meticulous work sometimes, but yeah.
How would you describe your style?
I would describe my style of photography as editorial for now. I would like to get into the fine art side, like Tim Walker, just like create worlds. Like the Astro World album cover, like things like that. Like, oh yeah. Like David LaChapelle, yeah, beautiful. I think my work, honestly, yeah, it's not to toot my own horn. I feel like it's really just like budget and just infrastructure. I feel like once I am able to tackle those two things, yeah, the sky's the limit. And once I get Photoshop scares me. Photoshop is
There's
terrifying.
a lot to learn.
Yeah, yeah. But that, yeah, once I get Photoshop, it's over. What do you want people to feel when they see your work? And what is your mission? What drives you to create? That's a good question. See, and that's what I'm like trying to work on now is my thing. Like I feel like I have a good understanding of like light and composition and all that, but like, what is your like? I see this and I just know instantly it's Vondre. I don't like see. I don't really think that deep into my photos. Where it's like I want them to feel this or I want them to feel this. It's more so, or maybe again, maybe that's just something subconscious that I'm not even like aware that I'm thinking. But my main thing is just like light and color are my main what gravitates me to a photo. Maybe an expression will pull me in, but it's mainly just how does the light translate? Where are all the hot spots? Where is it making me go? So that's a good question. I could implement that more. What is my mission? What is my drive to create? Like we were talking about earlier, it's very like wicked times right now, and I feel like a lot of us see like what's going on, and I feel like it's the best time. Like I feel it's gonna be a very artistic renaissance in the next decade. Because I feel like everyone just is aware that this is what better time than now to just go after like what you want. I've worked like retail, customer service, all that like since I was 15, 16 years old. And it's just like, and working these jobs, you see people who've been there for a while. And it's just like, I don't want to be that. And I can see how easily you could slip into being that. A big part of my drive is just like, yeah, this is something I'm good at, you
It
know.
seems like you have a hunger for freedom.
Hmm. Very much. Very, I don't know if it's a hot take, very much Aaron Yeager, like, long story short. He's the protagonist, and his friend, they're like in this land that's surrounded by a wall. And his friend shows him a book one day where it shows him just like the world. And it just like changes his whole mindset, trajectory, like everything. And he's just like, I want that. It's like, this is some BS. Now, what he does with that is, yeah, it's a little, ooh, but that main part is like resonated with me a lot. And it's just there's a lot of anime protagonists like that now that I think about it. But just that core ideology of I'm aware that there's more. So like I have to see it. And that's just it. Yeah, there's no other consolation or thought. Yeah. If your future self was here right now, what would he call you out on? The stagnation. I don't even gotta like, yeah, just the laziness, the, again, the apprehension to do the hard thing and the mundane thing. Yeah, it's just get up off your ass. Yeah, that's really it. What are you learning to love about yourself? I don't know. I feel like it's all a learning process. I'm not pinpointing anything. There's a time where I was, real deep in the suck. But it was never like a thing of like, I don't like myself. It was a thing of like, I don't like others. So I guess learning to love that, like, you aren't always right, that your imperfections don't absolve you of, like, your behavior, your actions. Fairness sometimes feels unfair, but again, it's all just taking things one trait at a time. And like I said, I think the biggest one is just learning how to not get so bogged down in just like what's happening in my current. Hmm. How has it felt to be seen in the hot seat today? Any final thoughts? Feels great. I feel like things like this are really good. Just like community building things. Like I saw your post earlier today about like, what was it, 50 something?
Yeah, you're my 55th.
Yeah. Ooh, Jason Williams. Nice. Yeah, like that's huge. That's like a big milestone. And I just feel like this city is a cesspool of very qualified and capable people. And it's just sometimes we get in our own way. And yeah, no. I feel like people like you are able to see potential and see the good and the intrigue in most people. And that's a talent in and of itself. So, yeah,
Thank you.
no. Like this stuff is very needed.
Yeah, well, thank you for being a part of it.
Oh, of course.
Are you nervous about letting go of the mystery of who you are?
Like I said, it's one of those things where I was telling my friend about this like the other day. It's like, because he's also a photographer, and he's dabbling into like painting though. So I'm like, okay, that's a nice medium. Again, the physical drawing I cannot, but it's just one of those things now where people want to see, they want to have a connection, and I feel like it's impossible to have that if people don't know who you are or don't know what you look like. So,
Anything you want to say to anyone watching this?
book a shoot. Yeah. You know it's going to be good. So, do that. Support your friends. Support all your creative friends. Like a post, share a tweet. Well, I guess yeah, people still use Twitter. Yeah, support your friends,
Thank you.
of course.